Good afternoon to all the attendees. My name is Anil, working as a part of the digital marketing team in Solution Work. A very warm welcome to everyone joining us today. The theme of our event, which you already know, is AIM, that is, accelerating innovation and new ideas in manufacturing, which is crucial for a company's competitiveness and long-term viability. It's about more than just adopting new technology. It's a holistic approach that involves fostering a culture of creativity, streamlining process, and leveraging data to drive continuous improvement. It is also important for a newcomer to the world of manufacturing to analyze the hurdles and start a wonderful futuristic journey of entrepreneurship and manufacturing. I'm thrilled to be your moderator for today's session, brought to you by Solution Buggy. For those of you who are new to us, Solution Buggy is India's largest manufacturing consulting platform, connecting over 50,000 industries with a network of more than 12,000 plus verified experts to solve complex challenges in the manufacturing domain. I welcome and thank our associated strategic partners and media partners and our beloved speakers for the session and our beloved attendees too. We have successfully completed the first session that was on high value chemicals. We have received a maximum attendees and the response was also way too good. Well, I can see the names here who have attended the previous session also. I thank and welcome for this session as well. Let us come to the topic that we have chosen under AIM. The reasons to choose these topics is because of today's value-added projects that India has to concentrate and where future demand is wide open for these. Here, the topics of other topics, which are high-value chemicals or specialty chemicals, sustainability or green chemicals, food processing, beverage development, the nutraceuticals, packaging, energy, and finally, 360-degree approach to start your journey in manufacturing. Now, I would like to hereby introduce our senior project manager, Mr. Prithviraj, who has worked on 30 plus chemical projects executed by Solution Buggy. He has a total experience of 8 plus years in manufacturing sectors. His expertise lies in project consultation, execution, process optimization, and Lean Six Sigma implementation. I welcome you and request you to further continue and take us through the insights of this session.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for the brief introduction, Mr. Anil. A very good afternoon to all the attendees and our beloved strategic partners and our speakers as well. So, I'm part of the Solution Buggy team. I'm working here from past 3.5 years. I'm glad to address you all on behalf of our company and taking you forward, which gives you a brief knowledge on product ideation, market analysis, technology implementation, government push towards green chemicals, and finally the regulator confrontations. Now, let us welcome our beloved speakers for today's session. So we have Ms. Akshata Mahesh, who is a cosmetic chemist, serial entrepreneur, and an FMCG strategist with over 20 years of brief experience spanning in training, technology, and product innovation. So she began her career as a trainer at 15 before moving into cosmetics, R&D, and marketing strategy. She has also guided over 200 entrepreneurs, trained more than 5,000 people, and launched 8 brands in the last year alone. So, pursuing her passion for science, she transitioned into cosmetic chemistry and FMCG product and innovation, and where she spent more than 12 years specializing in R&D formulation and market penetration strategies. So she has played a very pivotal role in highly profiled projects, including the launch of Provel by Tiger Shroff. So we welcome you, ma'am. So today we also have Ms. Nimita Korapatti, who is accomplished as a biotechnology specialist with over 18 years of experience in R&D, industrial biotechnology, and project management. So she has demonstrated expertise in process optimization, technology transfer, biomolecule commercialization, and product operations. Skilled in core functional collaboration, vendor negotiations, and strategic planning for large-scale biotechnology manufacturing. So Ms. Nimita has guided in microbial cell factories to produce sustainability specialty chemicals, seamlessly transitioning from genetic design to industrial scale biomanufacturing. She has most extensive experience and expertise lies in biotechnology and fermentation, R&D, projects and operations management, technology transfer and commercialization. So we warmly welcome you, Ms. Nimita. So we also have Mr. Krishna Shetty, who is our internal technology expert for any kind of chemical project. So he was also part of our session one. So he has wide experience in pharmaceuticals, chemicals of more than 30 plus years, worked in almost most of the industries across India. So let us get into the insights of green chemicals now. So the first question arises to our mind is, why is it called as green? You all know it's chemical, but still, why is it called as green? So as we have finished the session one, I hope some of you have might have joined the session one also. That is, which is high value chemicals or specialty chemicals. Sustainable chemicals are a part of specialty chemicals only. But still, yet again, why is it considered as such an important part of the specialty chemicals? The most important reason being that green or sustainability chemicals was introduced to reduce or eliminate the use of hazardous substances, which is the most important thing for the environmental friendly. When we look back into the history, the term green in chemicals was being originated in the early 1970s as there were a lot of concerns over environmental pollution happening across the world due to various reasons such as effluent water released to the rivers, plastic waste onto the sea where it cannot be degraded, health-based effects in terms of pharma and food additive chemicals. Hence, an, an US-based chemist, Mr. Paul Anastas, segregated a few chemicals according to its applications and called it as a green chemicals. So from then on to now, as the years passed, many technologies, many new product developments, many process technologies has also been taken place. So let's not keep waiting. We will take you to the enlightening session. Now I request Ms. Akshata to take us through the insights of the sustainability chemicals.
Thank you, Prithvi, for that wonderful introduction. I hope my audio is clear.
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Great. So, my name is Akshata Mahesh. Prithvi has already explained. I'll help you with a brief introduction of what exactly is happening in terms of greener tomorrow and bio energy. Can move on to the next slide. So, if you look at things way before 2014, that is 2010, 2012, having sustainability as a part of business or having a green initiative as a part of a business was considered more of a luxury. Okay. But if you look at the economy, this from a $10 billion economy in 2014, it has gone to $165 billion economy. I'm talking only about India by 2024 in just 10 years. So right now, this green initiative or sustainability is no longer a, you can say, luxury. It has become a necessity. Necessity in terms of waste prevention, having economic optimization, because government is giving you a lot of support and grants. You have much more safer products, not only nationally but internationally also, that we have seen a rise of market specifically with organic fertilizers and many other, these small domains which were earlier considered as luxury. So now it's become a necessity. Improvement of energy, that is in terms of the energy consumption from a factory perspective, but also an overall, let's say, country's energy consumption. So all of these factors are one of the major elements why the government is becoming more supportive, and we are seeing a lot of development of the green initiatives and sustainability from a business point of view. Prithvi, next, please. So, as I was mentioning, we have seen incredible growth of the bioenergy, green energy, sustainable market, specifically in India. So if you look at the only the bio-based chemical market, it has around 8.67% CAGR. Now, this category of sustainable green economy, what we are calling it today, we have bioalcohols, we have bioorganic acids, we have polymers, we have bioplastic. Now, look at the most simplest industries, or you can say most widely used industry, my loved industry, the FMCG. I think somebody is saying no screen share seen. Prithvi, can you please look into it?
Yeah, no screen share.
So look at the food industry, where we have moved from plastic plates to styrofoam plates to you can say areca nut plates, and now we have a blend of organic waste with a very small amount of say plastic. I'm sure most of you have seen these plates which come as something made out of wheat husk, made out of rice husk. Then recently there was a government initiative for Gobardhan, that is things made out of cow dung. So all of these industries, which are especially the FMCG, we are focusing more on reducing the fossil fuel consumption and trying to find better, and or you can say other alternatives. So whatever is the highest consumer based industry, that is your food, packaging, um, petroleum, and plastic. So the pharma industry, the food industry, the beverage industry, the construction industry, these industries have seen substantial amount of penetration of sustainable opportunities and sustainable projects coming up. And government is supporting, can say 99% to see such initiatives go even higher to bring economy back to India. So if any of you are into this sector, you should also start thinking about what are the different ways you can, incorporate sustainability or green concepts in your current business. And if you're thinking about, to penetrate into it, we will help you analyze on what is the right way to go about it. Next, please. So, as I was mentioning, a lot of different industries have seen the penetration. Green ammonia or green hydrogen that is where it actually initially started as one of the highest consumption in the sustainable chemicals. Then we have bioplastic. We have amazing, smart food packaging. We have bio-based surfactants extensively used in the personal care industry across the globe. We have biolubricants, we have biofertilizers. In the last, you can say, 10 years, we have seen 200x opportunities for exports. India is right now focused on supporting manufacturing as well as exports. So if you're somebody who's close to fertilizers or land, this is an excellent industry to get into. We have seen and work with projects where um, microorganisms, a combination of microorganisms, are used to create fertilizers, and we're doing amazing in the international market. And if you look at the costing is almost less than your traditional, say, synthetic NPK kind of fertilizers. It's much cheaper and much more affordable. Green methanol is where we are diving very, very strongly. So I think by 2030, we will be more on green methanol and green hydrogen. That means we will be running, the country will be running on a combination of the traditional fuel plus at least 30% of green methanol or green ammonia in as a part of the lubrication, as a part of the fuel system. That is what the country's commitment is. So all of these sectors are highly, highly sustainable, revenue generating, as well as very well supported. Prithvi, next, please. Great. So now I think we've got a fair idea about what is the purpose of getting into green energy or sustainability, where exactly the country is moving, what are the different avenues for me to look at. Now, if you're somebody who's like new to green energy, or if you're somebody who's already existing, um, how do you actually think upon it? Okay. How do you think on, how do you channelize your thought process so that you are actually executing and implementing things to achieve an XYZ goal specifically for these kind of projects, which are typically on a large scale and needs considerable amount of time, dedication, and investment. So your step number one would be to sit with, say, technology experts and conceptualize the feasibility of practical implementation. Now, the scope of project is extensively huge. Let's say I'm somebody new who wants to get into this industry, and maybe I have a skincare brand. I'm just giving you a very hypothetical situation. But I do want to get into manufacturing where I want to include a lot of sustainable practices into my manufacturing practices. Now, let's say this is the goal. So, how do I think about it? Now, I do know that I want to include, say, green energy or sustainable practices, but what exactly do I do in that? So, setting up that objective is very, very crucial. Do I want to set up a manufacturing unit to produce green energy? That is one of, say, the green methanol or green hydrogen or say, bioplastic, biosurfactants. So, do I actually produce that, or do I use the availability of greener alternatives? Number two, how can that help both your business, financial feasibility, but at the same time, on a long term, what kind of supports and regulatory approvals that you might get? So, first step in a layman's term would be for you to set up an objective for the project, get a technology assessment done on how far and how deep do you want to include the green economy. I would call it green economy because there's so much that you can do. Get detailed financial planning done. Look at all the regulatory approvals that you would need for your objective, and what is the environmental impact that your project is going to have. This environmental impact analysis is the most crucial part, which will decide on how deep you will go. Now, once you have a clear and basic idea about this concept and financial feasibility, then get into the design and engineering phase. Now, this is a time and space where you actually design the project, optimize it, look at it from a safety and risk management perspective, look at it from a supply chain development perspective, then get into construction. Now here there are a lot of legalities and paperwork to be done, and with my experience I will tell you, you have to go very strategic. Always get all the documentations done in a proper manner, in a phased manner. Now, if you're somebody setting up a factory, the first and foremost would be, let's say, pollution control board. Now, without that, the other things would not work. So there are a lot of, based on what is your project scope, there will be a set of say certifications and approvals, compliances that you need to get. Please get professional help, otherwise you will end up losing a lot of time, energy, and peace of mind. So get all your paperwork very clear from day one. This third phase is going to considerably involve a lot of your time and energy, let's say 8 to 12 months, where you're not only setting it up but also preparing your team to run the show and take trial runs for whatever you are planning to manufacture. And then the fourth step is always optimization. Track the performance and every metric from very first day. Anything that you did not track, you cannot optimize. So no matter what business or study that you're doing right now, tracking every aspect, let it be time, usefulness of a resource, say outflow, inflow of money, energy, whatever it is that you're doing today, everything must be measurable so that you can optimize it, right? Prithvi, next please. So this is like very, very general understanding on how you should think about getting into a newer project where you have a lot of government support. Okay. Now, even before you actually get into setting things up, selecting a vendor and your sourcing of equipments is going to be very, very crucial, because if any of this breaks, then your supply chain gets affected, your process gets very tedious. So let's look at both the things step by step. Now, selecting a vendor process, you need to define material sourcing and manufacturing process requirement. Now, I'm sure everybody here is in business and you have excellent SOPs for every aspect of your work. But when getting into such crucial projects, which is going to create a legacy tomorrow, I would say that be very, very, very specific about who is your vendor. Evaluate them against the quality standards. Do not just blindly go with references. Ensure that the vendor has the capability, the technology, and the financial stability to provide you service for a long haul. And also conduct the on-site audits for your vendors. Go meet their facilities, see the team, talk to the team, understand what is that they have already done, where are they looking at from a business perspective or their own growth perspective, and then finalize your vendor, ideally get into 3 years, 5 years contracts. Next, coming to equipments. So I'm sure you would have, say, a technical senior consultant or a guide to mentor you over the entire process. Now, it's important that when you are sourcing your equipments, you're looking at the energy efficient equipments and understand the long term impact of these equipments and usages. So, I think I'm sure everybody has observed. We've seen, these ACs and fridge. Initially, it was, how chill the room becomes or how effective the product is. Now, almost every electronic equipment comes with, say, 3 star, 5 stars energy saving. So think at it from this perspective. When the general consumer day-to-day products are becoming so energy efficient, when you are setting up something so huge, what are the other parameters that you need to look into from the energy efficiency point of view? So always and always take help from a technical expertise here in choosing the right kind of equipment, who will not only look at the technical aspect of it, but also guide you on, say, so the supplier, the manufacturer, the durability of the material, the safety, the after sales support. So these are couple of the general things that we look at when buying anything of value. But when you're setting up a factory, make sure that your technology can integrate into the machinery that you are buying. We have seen a lot of cases where the founders are very, very excited, very, very, say, high energy into getting into business, and as soon as they have funds ready, and immediately they buy all the machineries that they think are useful for them, but sometimes they are not. Take your time when choosing both the vendor and equipment. Have a balance. If you think that there are certain things that you can buy an Indian product, go for it. But if certain things you believe that, okay, only if it's an international brand, let's say printing. Okay, there's a German printing machine that's very famous, and all the top printers use only that German machine. So for your industry and whatever you're trying to do, if there are global players who are giving you better better products, go ahead, keep a balance of whatever you import and domestic. Now, over the last, say, 6 7 years, India has become extremely strong in terms of manufacturing and technology, and I'm sure half of the listeners today are budding towards the same goal, that is strengthening India's economy in manufacturing and technology. And I am so proud to say Indians are geniuses when it comes to that. There are a lot of technology, machinery, manufacturers available within India. You just have to look for it, and trust me, you will get those standard products, because all the international brands, I mean, most of the international brands are only using a tagline, but all the core technology happens in India. So take your time, give it a thought, choose the best vendor and the equipment for yourself. Next, please, Prithvi. Now, all this discussion might seem very simple, but when you actually start working on it, you understand that each phase, each point plays such a crucial role for your own success and growth. Now, when I said that this is going to be a heavily time-intensive project or pipeline of project, let's see what are the things and what are the steps and phases that you need to get into. Okay. So the first 2 months, you will be investing your time energy into your feasibility and the project report. That is, what exactly are you going to do? How are you going to achieve it? What is the technology? That is both your technological and the financial assessment you're going to do here for the first 2 months. And this is the most and most crucial time, which is also for you to, try to look into the trends, future growth, and do a product market fit. Whether you want to create a B2B, B2G, or export, also analyze your project from a distribution and positioning point of view. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you want to get into biofertilizers. Now, biofertilizers is not a very expensive product in a retail market. The product cost is as similar to a regular fertilizer, and sometimes the production cost is even less. If you look at the consumption is extremely high for fertilizers, but India as a consumer has still not, say, given up on the traditional uh, chemical-based fertilizers. Though there is a lot of education done to the farmers, they are still yet to adopt the biofertilizers. But if you look at, say, US, Canada, Europe, these countries have already, emerged into the phase where they have accepted and understand the importance of, say, biofertilizers. So when you're choosing a project, not look at the market and also look at where to position and penetrate. So if you are, let's say, into biofertilizers and you're starting right now, I would say focus on business as an export product itself. Do the manufacturing here, exports. So your marketing strategy now changes into finding the right distributors, creating global connections, creating your channel partners on a global level, tying up with markets where the awareness is always there. So government is doing a lot of, activities around biofertilizers in India, but the speed of adoption by the farmers is a little, say, slower than the adoption that has happened in outside India, especially in terms of biofertilizers. I'm just giving you an example to help you understand that when you're doing project report, this is very, very, very crucial that you do the product market fit, you finalize on your distribution channel, you finalize on your positioning, as well as the strategic way that you're going to make it happen. That gives you a proper, say, feasibility rather than assumptive way that, okay, this is how the businesses have been running and this is how I will also be doing. Look at what's happening in the global market. Look at what the government is doing and how much acceptance has happened in the market. Very, very, very crucial. Now, the PPT says 2 months. If you're not able to do it in 2 months, you're taking 4 months. It's absolutely fine. Take time in the first phase. Ensure that you have team of expertise sitting with you, because you will need the guidance from too many different angles and perspective to make sure that the time and energy that you're going to be putting further is fruitful and actually giving you results. So after your first phase is complete, you have complete clarity on what you're doing and where you will be heading. Okay, get into the design and engineering. Now that you have the guidance of multiple angles, you know exactly where to do. Now start working on the technology, integration, Okay, if you want to develop something new, good enough. But if there's already something available and you want to integrate that into your business, absolutely fine. So get into the design engineering phase. That ideally will take you anywhere between 4 to 6 months with the right team intact. Then the next 10 to 12 months will be going in procurement, construction. Make sure that you are aware of all the government schemes, all the government initiatives, all the support system, and you have incorporated all of those into your project report. So from the day one that you know that when I'm at, say, month uh, 8 and 9, when I'm actually getting into construction, what is the support that I can get from the government on in a phased manner? And trust me, this is a segment the government is very, very, very serious about. And because from $165 billion, I'm only talking about India, our target as a country is to reach $300 billion, almost double what we have achieved in the last, say, 10 years. We are planning to achieve double of that in the next 5 years. That's how serious government is working towards it. Um, it is just that government is also looking for the right people and project, and I'm sure there are a few audiences out of today's session who will definitely look into this industry and make it happen. Make it happen. So look at all of this angle from a support perspective. Then comes, after, like, while your construction is happening, you get into the commissioning and startup of commissioning and startup of your project, let's say 3 to 4 months. And then there is post project monitoring, optimization, analysis from day one. So when you're working at this level, which is taking a considerable amount of time, energy, and money and patience, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. Let's say we have now considered 2 plus, say, 6, 8 plus 10, 18, then again another 4 months, around, 2 years approximately, even before you start making actual revenue, right? So it is a time taking process, but also where it's not that you're sitting too ideal for 2 years. There are a lot of development happening and you're getting a lot of subsidies and grants. So what are the challenges that can happen over this, say, 2 years of you actually making it uh, big and green? Delays in bank approvals, delay in your subsidies, grants, uncertainties in timelines. A lot of projects, go to grant procedure. Government is giving a lot of grants for innovative, sustainable green energy and everything to do with saving the environment over the whole. Now, if you only and only if you have, I would say, exceptional control of your technology, exceptional clarity into practical usage of your technology, grants become a long shot. Okay. Grants become a little long shot. So though government is giving grants, don't solely depend on grants. Maybe you can look into, talk to your consultant or a senior advisor, get into a say combination of subsidy plus grant. Okay, that might help ease in the process. Okay, it might resonate to somebody. I was having a conversation somebody on the same topic day before yesterday, and this conversation just hit me. This is one thing that I have seen, that some entrepreneurs have excellent technology, excellent uh, control over what they want to do, but they they end up waiting for grants, and never you're actually getting into the implementation phase. So if you're someone who's stuck into that, please look into grant plus subsidy scheme. So that can definitely, work better than simply waiting for grants. Then there you might face regulatory approval bottlenecks. Um, that's what I said. Paperwork. Complete clarity from day one and go step by step. Ensure you ask 1,000 questions to your team. Have complete clarity on what exactly is the process and how to go about it. Supply chain disruption. There is a possibility because of the global economy. Suddenly, somebody saying 50% of tariffs. We never know what happens. Then if you're somebody who's dependent on raw materials or crucial things for you to get it from outside, or there are a lot of things can happen. COVID can happen, God forbid. But be ready to have an alternative solution to all of these challenges. Okay. And now these are the challenges not to scare you, but to pre-inform you, to have a little more clarity and acceptance that these are practical risk that do happens in projects, and you have to have patience to go through it. It's not that all of this will happen all the time, but be very clear from day one, and all of the major risks can always be avoided, right? The risk in, say, technology agreement, legal compliances, complexity in compliances. Have a legal team, um, somebody who specifies in IP law, somebody who specifies in, say, technology threat. Talk to them. Okay, whenever you're working with somebody, even before you work on the technology, even before you start discussing about the technology, have an NDA, have a proper agreement signed. So there are other legal, terms and processes, because your entire project is going to be focused on, say, either technology, core technology, or something. I'm sure some of that part will be innovative, and you want to protect it. Make sure you're working on protection of your own rights from day one. Natural disasters during constructions doesn't happen much, but always be careful. So, just have an open mind about what are the challenges that can come, so that you don't get frustrated and end up leaving your hard work middle of the project. Prithvi, next, please. Great. So previous slide we discussed about, say, having the paperwork ready, having the compliances in place from day one. So in this particular segment, what are the certain, say, basic compliances, or, say, tools for quality that you need to look at? BIS standards. IS standards are there for everything, okay, for your packaging, for, say, the quality of your ingredients, the quality of your packaging, and there are certain claims you can make, not make, based on the BIS standards. There are tests which is prescribed by the IS standards. So have awareness of these quality control frameworks, the ISI mark, have a third party assurance, have some kind of certifications, go through the REACH framework. Now, REACH is a comprehensive chemical management and safety regulations. So have something to have a framework, basically, to certify whatever work you are doing, whatever fits your project. Okay. Now, when it comes to testing protocol, get a composition and purity test, analyze the trace contaminants, especially heavy metals. If you are into packaging, food packaging, cosmetics, or anything to do with direct human consumption, heavy metal is very, very important. Now, this could also affect the quality and performance of your product. Then go to biodegradability assessment, very, very crucial when you say that you are a sustainable and a green economy. I'm not going to be using the term green energy because there are a lot of other things. Let's call it green economy. Now, under green economy, we are focusing on biodegradability. So analyze different phases of your business, get proper laboratory test done. So you're understanding, again, measurability on, how you can optimize, and get your compliance verification. So follow the OECD protocols, GLP principles, and make sure you are compliant with everything. The Indian Chemical Council promotes responsible care initiative, encouraging companies to improve environment, health, safety, and security practices beyond the regulatory requirement. So that's why I said you need a team of expertise who knows what are the things that will be important to get it done. So these are just references when we have an actual, say, the scope or aim of the project ready, then you can get into, maybe, the team can help you identify many more things in detail. Next, please, Prithvi. Now, looking at the market entry strategies and government supports, you can look into direct investments. So if you're a new facility, it's a greenfield project. If you are existing facility who's looking for a green conversion, then you get into a brownfield investments. There are strategic direct investments. There are joint ventures and strategic partnership that can happen between, say, company and government, company and company. Most of this, I have seen a small amount of success. I mean, small portion of what I have seen being very successful with the joint venture with government. Okay. It might not be very fast as the general, but definitely a lot of opportunities into joint venture with government, collaborating with the R&D and technology, export and distribution network, the PLI scheme, the PCPRI scheme, your tax R&D benefits, targeted programs. There are a lot of targeted programs under government schemes. A lot of that is not on the PPT, but there are a lot of schemes, again, depending on what you can do for your specific project. Next, please, Prithvi. Very, very crucial and important aspect in risk assessment, mitigation strategies in green practices is identification of hazardous chemicals. Okay, your process and product substitution, replacing your hazardous material with safer alternatives, developing procedures, training and work practices that have control, and implementing physical safeguards and containment systems, so you're not damaging the environment, and follow the regulatory framework. Again, evaluation and optimization of the risk that comes with any work. So in terms of your specific needs, you will have to focus on these couple of areas. Next, please, Prithvi.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, I mean, for the brief explanation. So, like you have already covered almost every aspect of the the green chemical manufacturing. So I thank you for that was a very wonderful explanation from your end.
Thank you, Ritu.
You can just be here. At the final, we have a question and answer session. So further will be taken care by Ms. Nimita. So before that, we have one more explanation. The next slide. So yeah, as Akshata madam have explained, almost covered everything about the quality aspects, which is hazardous, which is not hazardous, finding about the things and all that. So coming into the, building a greener chemical future across India. So what should be the main focus around it? So the first point would be the focus on circular economy integration. So which is majorly, concentrating on the waste management part to try to reduce the waste, or if the waste is generated, try to go with any of the value added product from the waste which is generated, and making the economy stabilize, and also your the capex or or the profit margin to be increased. And the second point is prioritizing the strategic partnership. So, what is the strategic partnership in terms of partnering with any the technology person who has the technology and very well and physically checked and approved technology, either patented or not patented, but it has to be physically approved. And then or there is another option with reducing the gap between the institutions and the industry. That is where India especially we are lacking behind. So there are many, there are lots, hundreds, thousands of technology projects across India, across the universities across India. So that has to be technologically oriented, and it has to be tested and commercialized it. And the third option is embracing the digital transformation. So as you all know, you are aware of Industry 4.0, which has been started at least more than 4 to 5 years back. So we have to embrace the digital transformation, implementing IoT, AI, and analytics to optimize the process to improve the production finally. And we have to also look into the securing long-term investment. This term, especially for an existing manufacturer, in any of the term who wants to diversify or who wants to add some other value added products to his current line. So this is the most important thing, where sometimes everything may not be concentrated in the ROI. Of course, yes, for an entrepreneur, for a person who wants to enter into the manufacturing, he has to he has to be on the ROI part or the break even point analysis and all. But still, when it comes to the point where an existing manufacturer, for the sustainable, to enter into the sustainable market, he has to look into the benefits of other environmental friendly things also. So based on this, continuing with Ms. Nimita from our team, will be explaining the further the session. Nimita?
Thank you, Prithvi. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your attending the webinar. So as my background, he already introduced, I'm a biotechnologist. As a whenever we see biotechnology, I think as an industry professional, it is an integration interdisciplinary platform, which is integration of chemistry and biology. When it comes to green chemistry, it's actually combination of both alternative green chemicals and the utilization of integration of biology related, like agricultural based materials, to create a technology so that you can create a less hazardous alternative solutions for the chemicals productions. That initiations government is clearly supporting with a lot of subsidies schemes and fundings, everything. So when this is why green chemistry is to actually minimize the environmental effect, as well as people working in the industries, which are where are the industries of category A, actually have a lot of environmental effect on not only in the environment, even in the people who are working in the organizations, in the manufacturing units, even in R&Ds. So there are a dosing or environmental exposure levels. So when you use the green alternative, the petrochemical alternatives, this actually create a very safe environment. Completely not, but comparative. You can give a sustainable solutions by using the raw material waste. It's like integration of circular economy, sustainable solution creations in the entire process of from the R&D to your product development in the fill to finish. Make sure use alternative to the synthetic versions of your hazardous chemicals, or safe practice which is already in the rich database. What are the chemicals which are safe and which are already categorized? These are hazardous, low amounts it should be. So all these parameters we have to in the starting stage itself, you have to understand and create the category, what kind of technology you are going to create, and how you can reuse when you're creating the waste management side and water consumption. This is actually as a integration interdependent. When you for example, in a not only in a chemistry processes, in our biology processes also, you have a lot of water and industrial waste generations, and in all the industries you have a waste products comes out. So those are all has to connect it with the cleaning process, so which is depend on the category of the manufacturing unit or a process unit. It will be changes the how much usage of water or the waste is coming out. So try to understand. We have try to adopt more of reusable, recyclable, and zero discharge motors, which is government trying to insist to help and avoid health environmental problems. So energy efficiency, it is not only for the company, it is overall health of the organization. We have to take care of energy efficiency wherever we are trying to like alternative solutions for green electricity, like either in a transport or in the regular process supply, electrical supply, and segregate them by adapting green sources of energy. And even during the processes, we use a lot of motors, we use a lot of cooling and heating systems. So try to make sure automated versions, so that you will not have a turnaround times or a loss in the during the process to switch on, switch off. There is a lot of gap will be there, the process unit to utility units. So all these things, if you that's where digitalization and international standards will come into places. When you make sure digitalization is not only in the processes or the products, it is from the starting, from your vendor management to the product finishing. If you integrate digitalization not only in the processes, policies, it will become more transparent, and it will become more less time to get the approvals. Because in a classic example, when we have to procure a material, you have to go through a lot of people approval if it is in a manual. But when you digitalize by using SAP systems or SAS systems, it will be like already the notification will go to the concerned person. It's a time of factor. It will happen very faster. And the same thing with the process parameters, or during the process making processes also, heating, cooling systems, when you're doing distillations, all those things have an integration. But wherever you're using water pumping, wherever you're using motors, so that you just try to be based on the, because everything digitalization also have a lot of cost. But these days, because this is the trend, a lot of AI systems, lot of software developments are happening across the BT-IT integrations are happening. So a lot of solutions are available in a very lesser cost also. So optimize when you are trying to see your own initiatives in green chemistry, integrate all the parts, like what kind of technology I'm going to use, what kind of product I'm going to do, and what are the chemicals involved, how can I see alternatives and see. And the same thing when it comes to how, when I'm doing the process, how I can reduce my consumption of the energy. And same thing during the waste management time also, because very classic example I'm trying to give. A lot of people these days in the upcoming plants, they are actually doing a zero discharge plant, because they are trying to utilize whatever processed water in the what do you say, in the plantation within the premises. And even that even goes for the domestic uses in the cleaning purposes of washrooms, or which is not for the consumption of human, but it can be utilized in a different purposes, so that you can have a very water consumption is less. And even waste, it is like waste management is something which is you have to understand, trying to be more of what are the end products, in between products, how you can recharge it. Because when we are doing your processes, 100% conversion is completely not possible until unless it's completely a 100% efficiency or reaction catalysis. So when you have some percentage of leftover material of substrate, try to be accumulate and do a reprocess, so that you will maximize the each material of substrate to be product, and that can actually give a economic value for your own products. That next page. So when it comes to global drivers, so when drivers and key export opportunities, actually India is a very advantageous stage of having a lot of solutions and what you can say, expertise to do other countries can do. We can do in our own. If you see all our India map, each state or has a unique feature of their own expertise and skills in a, either that is in a chemistry wise or it is in the biology wise. There are strengths, and manufacturing side they have their strengths. If you integrate and look for Indian manufacturers, uh, uh, so, and you can actually create a material which can be globally, we can export the materials, because agricultural products, whatever we are exporting, which are very high quality. But when it comes to how you actually match with the export opportunities and how you actually fulfill the global demand, it is like you have to be very strict of following international standards when you are getting your licenses for the trading or export and import related. You have to make sure all the compliances, which is very globally, wherever your target what do you say, market or customers or clients, you have to make sure along with the Indian standards, you have to also see through what are the requirements, understand with a panel of people, consult during the initial stages itself. If you create a scope, what is your product portfolio, and create this what are the regulatory norms, how we what kind of intensive, because everything has a back and forth advantages when you go through each steps, because you have a, if you start a project, it will have a minimum 18 to 12 months time to come into the stage of where it has to be in a materialization process. You see some work is happening, but you have ample of time to make your scope, to target your audience, and to target your demand, where you are going to market, what is your market, and what is your market size, what kind of compliances I have to be do, and how my process will be equally international standards across. Because when you are targeting these things, if you are able to take care what kind of regulatory efforts are there. Another thing is, these days each and everybody, even in a small kid also, if you ask what they have awareness of health, bio-based materials, all those things, they know what they are eating, what where that is coming. They are trying to understand. If they, it is not like previously, okay, by some ad you started fascinated on taking those materials or purchasing that material. But nowadays the awareness of customer is very, very, very high, and their expectations also, and they see all the ingredients, what is going into the product. So if you match with what are, for example, natural is always, as you know, very, very premium markets, and with but synthetic, you will get a huge difference uh, uh, in the market price, selling price, and availability wise also. That is more scope and compared to the natural one. So actually green chemistry and biology integration gives the molecules which are equally like a natural but not synthetic. There you will actually, what is the combination you're using to create your own process to get a sustainable uh, uh, technology and the product, so that it will uh, um, go through the process of export and global demands. And even in that, you have to also see companies, how you can eliminate carbon trends, how can you eliminate the hazardous substance. Like previously I told, whenever you're doing process, make sure based on your target market, you try to see all the compliances and go through a panel of person or a consultant, because nowadays a lot of startups, a lot of people, individual freelancers and consultants are available to facilitate these kind of works. And circular economy is like, it's a simple reuse, recycle, and waste minimize. It is completely like you are trying to produce vanillin. I'm just giving on a normal example, but in that you will get a lot of other molecules also. Try to see whether when you produce first, you do the proof of concept, you will do the analytical methods. So you will understand what kind of materials you are going to produce are in that complete analysis or a spectra. So try to see, is that has any market, is that can be utilized as a substrate for some other molecule development, like that. Because we as an industry person, we produced flavors and fragrances from microbial sources. When we are doing those things, we actually, traditionally, when you work with the microbes, you feed glucose and try to see the molecules come by pathway engineering, metabolic engineering. You do a lot of stitches and removal and addition of genes on a very, very deeper level. You do those things and to produce the molecule, and those levels are sometimes not matches to the economics. So when you are trying to produce these kind of green chemistry materials or green economic creation, try to be more of application and integration of both the sciences, chemistry and biology, so that you will actually get a very good hybrid and economically viable technologies. Next slide. So nowadays, if you see, Ms. Akshata has already covered a lot of this government initiations and everything. So when you speak about government initiative, international collaborations, industry, academic partnerships, digitalization, and AI integration, so these are all, there are certain materials, which is, I will give example of biopolymers. If you see, NCL Pune and IIT Roorkee actually developed very good microbial based technologies to produce biopolymers. But the academics have a lot of pressure of these kind of technologies. What, as an industry, if you try to partnership with them and create a spin-off, these days PhDs have that scope. When they are doing their own PhDs, you can try to bring the that complete 4-year efforts can be a spin-off company and then create their own products also. But when you try to take a government leverage of encouraging the green, sustainable, economical, economically viable technologies creation. So, and then whenever you are starting, always we are not the first starters. But if you see nowadays in a Google, everything is available. So you know what kind of products you want to do, and try to search the database. Is there any universities or institutes are working and they need a partnership to make that one into the manufacturing? That is one way of industry and academia partnerships actually viable. And international collaborations. So some of the initiative government itself is trying to do to create this bioeconomy for getting different technologies, which is very, very upgraded version of from Japan, to get a petrol alternative biochemicals and biofuels. And when you do a digitalization and AI integration, what happens whenever we adopt the existing technologies and existing trends, our processes and the transparency becomes more easier to convince other people, which is like capturing the global demand or capturing the client attention. Oh, these people are having everything in a very transparent manner, and everything is digitalized. We can see anytime. For example, in manufacturing process, we create manufacturing batch records. So actually, literally, chemists or biologists literally write each and every hour what is happening, what is input was given, how the parameters are working out. But that integration, it takes almost 1 week. The person has to, because it's a continuous production process is happening. They are writing in the papers, but that is not integrated into the system to showcase. If somebody, the supervisor, collect that data, make Excel sheets and make it. But if you create that one as in a computerized versions, it on process to take the data from, when you make it automation of processes, whatever is happening in the reactors or the processes will be captured within the systems, and you can take the data. And whenever, because this is helpful for the auditing purposes also. So, and that also create a waste reduction, process efficiency. Wherever you are, you can actually see what is happening in the unit and try to give suggestions to the team, which are, it is some kind of troubleshooting also we can do online assessments. So So when you're doing environmental impact and assessments of processes, you have to see this is completely when you're trying to be in a manufacturing industry or R&D or in a startup, you should be understand which category of molecules or research manufacturing you're trying to do it, and create what kind of environmental assessments I have to go through and what kind of scoping. So every industry has for example, if we go to manufacturing, we go to the pollution control. That's something which is the first part you have to do, and whether the land where it is, what kind of products you are producing. If it is in a category A, it's almost like in normal terms what we say, it is a red category. It's the most environmental impact products, which is, that's the reason most of the time these the green chemistry and alternative solutions, using bio-based technologies will help us to mitigate. You have to do that assessment in the starting of your project, and scope what kind of, in this, for example, you are still going category A, but try to see in that terms is whether we can use some kind of alternative chemicals, green chemicals or solvents, replacement slowly, because already you're in an industry manufacturing and you're using a synthetic versions of all your technology. It's a slowly try to adopt these kind of things and try to collect what kind of, how you can improvise your processes and take assessments of each and every mitigation. And once you've done all those, your own way of scoping, you create a data and go to the consultant. They will try to give all the necessary checklists. Once you prepare the checklist, right, that one you submit to the people. They will try to see what kind of approvals is needed, whether it is possibility or not, and then you will get the decision making of what to go. If anything you have to revisit, all those things can be assessed in terms of, because all this green chemistry, everything was happening around for the health of environment as well as human being. So if you do this assessment in the initial stages itself, it is kind of scoping your own way of your own project for getting the approval in an easy way. Next slide, Prithvi. So safety and industry. Safety is something which is very it's like when you all might be knowing DuPont. That is actually, it is one of the necessary principle is safety. They actually sell the safety, because safety is something which is it is not only for my organization, for our own purposes. You have to create the awareness, create the framework of each and every safety protocols, like make a framework in the terms of what kind of safety and health should be there in a chemical industry. Any industry, safety is mandatory, and you have to understand, either in a green zone or orange zone or a red zone, the safety principles are same, but the adaptability and seriousness will be changes according to the segment. Because here in a green zone, it is not that safety practices are not, everything is safety. It is not like that. So you have to make sure all those factory acts, as per those things, how your own manufacturing unit or your own zone, how it will be come under. So create some roadmaps to the people, and then go all the chemical anything which is related to, try to see Indian standards as well as global standards, try to adapt and make awareness pamphlets or checklist charts in the runway or walkway of your own units, so that people will be consciously getting into their mind we have to follow. And then hazardous management is like you have to see spillage, how to spillage can be mitigated. If any spillage happens, how to do emergency attention assessments, and give each, and either it is in a fire, it is in a gas, each and every segment, wherever any problem comes, how they are going to be safe and safe, and it mitigates the lot of problems to the organization health as well as the uh, uh, chemical accidents. Also you have to train, because these process of safety is all about creating awareness, giving training to the people, making process management with the checklist and the creation of all the awareness, continuous drills. Yeah, and create all the checklist for the emergency responses. Is somebody speaking?
No. We can continue.
Okay, so this is way safety and industry standards has to be taken care of it, and this completely is creating an awareness across the segments of the operations of either in a manufacturing or R&D. This training for what is the PPEMS, everybody knows this is personal protection equipments. So how when you are trying to be emergency response is like when you see a fire alarm, try to what are the safer places to evacuate and reach out the safer place, so that how those trainings and drills continuously you try to give those things. That because this is some way, this is like an integral part of when you are mapping out your company manufacturing R&D layouts, try to implement these things in a part and parcel of your plan of layout of your next slide.
Yeah. Nimita, I'll be taking this slide. So you have another last slide. So I'll be explaining about the last. I'll be giving you back to the last slide.
Okay, sure.
So coming to the innovation funding opportunity. So as Ms. Akshata also have briefly explained about the opportunities based on the for the government where central government are also providing. So before entering into the government opportunities, we have to make sure you have to make sure about your background. For example, are you an entrepreneur who wants to enter into manufacturing, and what is your education background as well? Whether the are you from the chemical background, or just as an MBA guy who wants to enter into manufacturing, or as a technical part enter into manufacturing as a technical, or as an business point of view. So if you have a technical person with you, so these are all some of the measures that we will have to discuss internally, mutually, and you will have to discuss with as the consultant, where this is the human intervention is very important part. So these are some of the government funding sources where you have Department of Chemicals and Petrochemicals, where chemical promotion and development scheme under that, so providing grants for studies. So as Ms. Akshata also mentioned, we should not depend completely on the grants, but yes, trying and trying as hard as possible. It's not a wrong thing to do. That we'll be doing it from Solution Buggy's end. So Department of Science and Technology, where funding opportunities specifically for R&D related projects in sustainable chemistry or green technology innovation. So, and the other one is the Technology Development Board. This is especially for the financial assistance for commercializing your technologies. So if you have any technologies, you might be either from the academic or industry. So if you want some grants or the subsidies, so having the technology with you, which is proven, physically proven, then we can claim to the government that yes, we have the technology with a report, the project report. And finally, the Startup India scheme. So if you are already into manufacturing and looking for expansion, or as a startup, if you want to start a business, if you are from the chemical background, and this will help you where in early stage capital, where the government gives you the capex and Startup India seed fund schemes or green chemistry. So other than this, we have some other private sectors and venture capital opportunities also, which is a very rare thing. It depends on the person who wants to invest. So their interest, their capabilities, how much they can invest, and sometimes location also matters here. On what type of location you want to set up, and that has to be matched with the private sectors or even the venture capitalists, such as specialized VC funds, generalized VC funds, and corporate venture capitals as well. These corporate venture capitals who are already into chemical manufacturing. So some of you, some of the people might have attended the webinar as well, who wants to advance your existing manufacturing to the next level. So with the help of existing technologies, either from the other smaller based industries or might be from the academia. Next slide. So we are on the end of the session. This will be the last slide, and it is the most important, where how to troubleshoot the technical things, and once the production is begin, so how you want to start with your to optimize your process. Ma'am, you can.
So, root cause analysis, whenever we are doing the processes, with the examples I will give you, we are producing one of the flavor molecule, and it is an integration of chemistry and microorganism and some bioenzyme from the source of plant. So when we are doing R&D, we got a very good results. We are able to see economically viable when we done the POC with the product selling price versus our production price. When we are starting a scale up, so we are able to do it, but we are not reaching the title what we are doing it. So when you get these kind of things, always we see, oh, that might be and all, but instead of that, we have a very good principles of root cause. You try to create that root cause analysis system in your own team. I'm not saying entire organization, whoever you are as a leader or as a supervisor or your own as an individual contributor, try to understand whenever a problem comes, become a troubleshooter instead of criticizing the why should is happening, becoming upset or not, because whenever it happens, that's the thing that comes. So what we have to see is overall how the process went. You see the record, we done that one, and then we understood one of the problem is that particular process requires a very good oxygen, but the equipment when we are using the scale up, that is not giving the sufficient dissolved oxygen for the enzyme. So when you're working with enzymes, you not only enzymes, any reaction, the requirements of catalyst to work out to become substrate A to B. These you have to be very keen on that. We understood when we are trying to become more of scrutinization. You should be asking why it is happening. That's what called 5 why method. But what I see is, instead of individually utilizing both the methods, combine them, you will get an overall picture and you will get the solution also. So whenever this system, when you are creating your process SOPs, you try to, by using these methods, you try to create a checklist. So whenever this checklist misses from your group members or team members, or no need of going through entire panel of discussion or scrutinizing each and every person on the shifts. You can easily understand where the things gone wrong by feel factor as well as your own experience. So root cause analysis should be not only each and every step of your process. If you integrate it, it will become more technical, and you can say consistency will be always create a productivity in a manufacturing or in the R&D also. So this way of thinking or integration of this root cause analysis in your team, it actually creates a lot of things, translation from one stage to other stages. In the scale ups also, it will actually create a very seamless process. It is whether you are taking that from 10 liters to 1000 liters or 10,000 liters, it is not going to be any problem. Only the system exists, adjustments and parameter adjustments, only your part will become. It will not be overall each step, no need of going through. So in your R&D stage itself, try to be more of root cause analysis of your processes and your systems, everything which is you're creating a SOP, so that whether you are there or not, the show must go on. So your organization should run with your perfect SOPs and integration of your methods and processes. And in the same thing, in a manufacturing unit or across the segments of the unit, preventive maintenance is something which is very important, because if 365 days we are working, and whenever when instrument failures or it breakdowns, then only we start understanding, oh, a problem ho gaya, then we have to make sure there is a 2 days gap, because it is depend on a technical person. Somebody has to come from outside, or our persons which are there may be limited to do the correction of it. So frequent, every quarter, try to be see either your instruments or your processes or any of these involved to create a product. So make sure everything will be having a preventive measurements, and especially for the instruments, you have to create a preventive maintenance cycle, either that is quarterly or half yearly, 2 to 3 days, based on your robustness of utilizing or continuous your production timings.
Yes.
And it has
We
to
are
be done.
sorry to intervene. We are almost running out of the time. It's been 3:50. So we can wind up and start the question and answers session now.
Go ahead, because digitalization and process intensify anyway, it was covered.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So we have a few questions like, do we have projects within 4 to 5 crores under green chemistry? Akshata, ma'am, can you give a comment on this?
Yeah, hi. So beautiful questions. It does not matter whether it is 5 crores or 50 crores. Definitely, you can take up project. We will have to narrow down into what exactly you want to do and the scale of it. Definitely, if your funding is little bigger, then your potential of faster penetration into the market is bigger. So with this budget, definitely you can start a project, not a concern.
Okay. So this for you, Nimita madam. Any real life case study from India in green chemistry, green chemicals, which has grown significantly?
Yes. So I will give you what I done. Biopolymers, one of the example, and flavors and fragrances, which is most of the people know that is comes either from the synthetic, that is like a vanillin or rose flavors. All those things which is goes into either in a food industry, pharmaceuticals, wherever you use a flavor, mostly beverages and food comes into, but it goes into a lot of segments. During COVID, one of our molecule actually gone into even sanitization purposes. So yes, in when uh, when when we are using flavors and fragrances, it is a natural source, but because of the biodiversity loss, the company who started venturing into sustainable solution. So we are able to successfully produce. They are able to successfully produce 4 technologies in a span of 4-5 years, and then they are able to produce alternative of you can say peach notes and grass notes, which is actually we get from a natural sources, and equivalent to synthetic because there is a synthetic segment, there is a natural segment. Biotechnology or a green chemistry gives a natural like producing molecules which are safer, non-allergenic, and which can replace actually synthetic versions of most of the flavors and fragrance. Like this, lot of companies are there. You can see String Bio actually creating single cell protein, which is alternative for a agricultural enhancement, means health enhancement of either soil or like you can say biofertilizers kind of thing. So and flavors and fragrances is one of the segment. Biopolymers, that is using a less versions from the agri based or microbial based polymers, which can give a biodegradable polymer packaging industry segments. They are coming up and they already there. And Banyan Nation is one of the classic. They do a recycling of plastic and create again a plastic waste. So
Got it.
there are a lot of in India itself, there are a lot of startups, lot of institutes working on this.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. So yes, thank you very much, Ms. Akshata and Mrs. Numita. So it was a wonderful session. So I thank each and everyone for taking time and attending our webinar. Uh, So as the time concerns, so we'll be sharing more ideas through WhatsApp, and so when we are discussing on one-on-one discussion, so whatever the questions that we have got, it will be answered there. So I'm glad that we were having maximum number of participants. We have received insights on how to get into this journey of manufacturing, especially in the green chemistry or the sustainable. So I congratulate everyone for being in the right path to start your journey in the manufacturing. So going further, we have upcoming sessions tomorrow and day after tomorrow as well. And very exciting one where it can be called as the strength of India, that is food and beverages. So I would request you all to attend these sessions to have a delightful knowledge to get the industry insights for your future endeavors. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you so much for
Thank
your
Thank
you.
you
time.
to all the participants who stayed so long. And thank you to the organizers as well. Have a great day ahead and a successful venture going forward.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.